Welcome to Denim-wrapped Nightmares, Tipsy Exchange podcast, where we explore the supernatural series, episode by episode.
Over drinks, we'll discuss the lore, the gore, and what we adore about the Winchesters and their adventures.
I'm Burley, and I'm a new fan of the series.
I'm LA, and I'm here along for the ride. Now let's get tipsy.
Hello, LA.
Hey, Burley.
Our last episode was titled Goodbye, Stranger. In it, Castiel reappeared in Sam and Dean's life and told them Crowley had unleashed several demons into a small town. The demons are looking for Lucifer's crypt, which holds a valuable asset, but Castiel lies to Sam and Dean about what it is. He said it was parchment. I like that word, parchment. While interrogating a demon, the three discover that Crowley has been torturing Meg, who knows the exact location of the crypt. Sam and Meg fight to hold off Crowley. Dean and Castiel go in search of the crypt.
It's a cool crypt.
It was a pretty cool crypt. Yeah, I wish we'd gotten to see what all was in there. Mm-hmm. And we had to say goodbye to Rachel Miner.
It was a sweet exit. I mean, I don't, not her death, but like, it was sweet to see the stuff with her and Cass before
Agreed.
She was taken out.
Yeah, like I said, it would have been nice for her to have a complete redemption and for there to be a complete reconciliation between Sam and Dean and everybody. But at the same time, like, she did some fucked up shit. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that she earned that. But again, I said it multiple times in the last episode. She had her good times. She had come around to where she wasn't evil anymore. And I think that she was ready to go, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that was last episode.
All right. Well, this episode is titled Freaks and Geeks, and it is the 18th episode of Season 8, and it aired on March 27th, 2013. What a good day.
It is a good day. Why is that a good day?
It's just, good things happened. Mariah Carey was born, Quentin Tarantino, just people. Anyway.
Wait a minute. Mariah Carey and Quentin Tarantino are only 12 years old?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Wild. Many years ago, the same day. Okay. All right. Well, at the start of the episode, we're in Conway Springs, Kansas, not Colorado Springs, Kansas, like I thought it said.
No, we had to rewind and double check that.
Yeah. We've got two teens making out in a parked car out at this little falls. It was a nice little area they were in. Mm-hmm. Almost like a little waterfall type. They're making out, and this van pulls up. And as they're making out, there's somebody out there circling the car. Just every once in a while, you see a body go by, like the window behind the guy, the window behind the girl. And they start freaking out, and we realize that the little lady in the car is Chrissy.
I know.
Chambers. I don't know what episode she was from.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, that's right.
Was the name of the title, where they fought the Vitalas.
That's right. I'm sitting there like, if it was me, I'd say, turn that engine on. Let's get the fuck out of here.
We were both yelling at her, like, Chrissy, you know better. Yeah. You know better. What the fuck, girl?
Which it makes sense now after.
Yeah, after watching the whole episode. But in the moment, we were like, the fuck?
I mean, almost as soon as I said that, then the freaking hood flies up and they cut their engine out. So, no, sorry. Can't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. The guy that's in there with her, his name is Aiden, and he's like, let me be this macho man. I'm going to go check it out. You stay here. And she's screaming at him not to leave her alone.
Right.
I thought it was weird for Chrissy because she was like Miss Little Tough Badass even when she was younger.
And I guess I'll have to save myself, she did in that scene.
And then now she's like, don't leave me alone. He gets out of the car, and then somebody busts through Chrissy's window and drags her out of the window. And then, lo and behold, this other girl shows up. Aiden, who was in the car with her, shows up, and they just take the guy's head off. Just behead him, and that's that. She tells them that next time they can be bait.
Close call.
Yeah, they're little hunters. They're baby hunters.
They're a little trio of hunters.
Yeah, they're teenage hunters. The next day, Sam and Dean are in the same town because I think, was it Sam or Dean that read about two women who were on the side of the road with their throats ripped out?
I think that was Dean.
Okay. And they think this is our thing.
And then Sam was like, sure, I guess. And that's when Dean was like, are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, their whole I'm okay. Are you okay? Oh, well, I'm okay, but this and this about you. And then, well, I'm okay, but what this, and you. And I love that I don't know what Sam said. And then Dean was like, what? Talk about my feelings?
He was like, Cass beat you up. He dinged you up pretty good there.
Yeah, he did.
Sam didn't even see how bad.
That's true, yeah.
He doesn't even know.
Mm-mm.
And here's the thing. They just popped over because it's all in Kansas. Like, it's all, like, in their same state.
It's
near
the bunker.
Yeah, it's near the bunker, but they're going to have Garth check in on the kids every once in a while. I was like, what?
You're jumping right to the end of the episode. Jesus.
Okay, I'm sorry. Back to Dean's feelings.
Well, he doesn't want to talk about them, clearly. So, yeah, they get out of the
Not
car.
without tea.
Oh, yeah, that was, he's like, well, let's go get some tea. And he's like trying to be a jerk about it. Sam's like, all right.
Fuck you, bro.
Yeah, and he gets out of the car. But they go in and they start talking to the sheriff.
Your Louisiana sheriff, you loved him.
Yes, he had a little Louisiana twang to him. And
Which was random, but you know what? We didn't care.
right,
It was fun.
for a minute I had to remind myself we're in Kansas, right? Okay.
I liked it.
I did too. I liked him.
Throw some flavor in the episode.
I wouldn't have minded more of this little sheriff.
Same.
They're talking about the murders of these two women, and then he brings up this footage that he found from last night. And it is footage of Chrissy and her little ragtag team of hunters, teenage hunters. And I mean, crystal clear picture of Chrissy on this surveillance tape.
Yeah, she practically looks right at the camera.
Yeah, and Dean, I thought he immediately recognized her, but it took him a minute when he froze the frame. Then he really recognized her. Mm-hmm. And then he just got to business telling this little sheriff, you delete this footage. We're going to take this with us.
Yeah.
Call off all I forget what he said he had coming.
APB, call it off.
Oh, yeah, the bowl.
You're investigating with a federal, or you're conflicting with a federal investigation now. Are you going to cooperate? Like, he got real aggressive. And Sam's just kind of sitting there being like,
yeah.
I'm not going to argue with him, but I don't know what's going on. So I think that the reason he was making the face at first is because the way they quickly decapitated this person, clearly these are hunters, but they're also clearly kids.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why he was making the face at first of like, what the hell? And then he saw who the kids were. And that's when he was like, oh.
That makes sense.
But he explained to Sam when they were leaving, like, you remember Chrissy?
Yeah.
That's who that was.
Well, and, her and her father promised get out of this life. She was going to get to lead a whole normal life. He was going to get out of hunting and whatnot.
The second Dean brought up Chrissy Chambers, he was like, oh, yeah, her dad was so-and-so, and we hunted the Vitalas with them, and da-da-da-da-da-da. He must have face blindness, but he didn't, he was like, didn't recognize that name, the face didn't ring the slightest bell, but I remember every other detail about that case.
Maybe he wasn't wearing his glasses. Okay, well, back at a motel, Chrissy checks in under a fake ID. And the guy's like, oh, you're 25? Which, even looking at her, I was sitting there thinking, okay, yeah, right. Sure. And then she claims to be 40, which...
As she slaps some more cash on the counter.
Yeah. So he gives her the keys. She goes in. It's her, Aiden, and Josephine is the girl that's with them. They have a camera set up in a room, I guess either near their room or next to their room, of a girl victim from these vampires tied up to a bed. As they're kind of viewing this, Sam and Dean bust into the room. Chrissy's got her gun on them, asking what the hell they're doing there.
I liked the way they did this. We saw the kids, before the kids went in the room, and we saw them picking the lock. Mm-hmm. And then it showed the door open, and it was Sam and Dean. And so I was thinking, like,
the transition.
That transition was cool. So I was thinking, oh, wait, is this going to be like a cutback that Sam and Dean actually beat them to the room and did whatever it is they're trying to do, or what? But then all of a sudden Chrissy jumped out, and then it cuts to I liked how they did it back and forth.
I did too. I remember thinking, oh, okay.
It was interesting.
Yeah. Because, like you said, Josephine and Aiden are going into the room with the victim, where they think, a vampire was with her.
But he wasn't doing anything to her.
Right. And then that's when Sam and Dean come in, and she's got the gun on them. But then they watch on the screen that the vampire does bust out of somewhere.
Just pop out. I think he was just crouched in front of the window, I guess. I thought he came through the window.
I don't know where he came from. I don't.
We were very confused with this whole thing, because it's like we saw him go out the window and beelining it for the van, and so then we had to pause because we had to have this whole conversation, because I was like, wait a minute. Why is this vampire like running to a van? Why is there a van sitting outside waiting for him? And then LA was like, What do you say? It was like a good friend that just dropped him off for a quick snack.
I was like, yeah, they caught her earlier, but they didn't have time, so they just tied her up. They were like, we're going to come back. And so the guy in the car said, buddy, this one's yours. You go snack attack it, and then I'll wait in the car, and I'll get the next one. And I was like, he's just a good friend.
And I was like, no, I think that something shady is going on here. But LA was like, no, it's fine. My story makes sense.
It did to me. What can I tell you?
It's just a good friend. Oh,
I was wrong. Shocking.
So anyway, we were very confused with this whole little section. So we might get something wrong. But
It went real fast.
it went very quickly, and we were trying to follow the logic of the situation, and we couldn't. And in hindsight, that there's a reason why. It's because it wasn't logical. It did not make sense. But we were trying very hard to make sense of it in the moment.
But yeah, so as when Sam and Dean and Chrissy all see that the vampire popped out of nowhere,
Right.
just poof, they race into the room. It had to have been, I guess, the room next door or something. Not that matters. And they bust in, have a little tussle. The vampire jumps out of the window, like you said, and starts running toward the blue van, which is the blue van that pulled up in the beginning when they were making out at the Lover's Lane Falls or whatever.
Just that really cool friend, just taking his friends'
He's such a
places
good
and being like,
friend.
you go get it. You go get that
Go
snack.
get that snack.
Go get that snack.
However, I think Aiden catches the vampire. I can't remember.
It was Chrissy, because
Oh.
she shot him with the dart gun, and Dean was like, how the fuck did you drop that vampire so fast? And she was like, dead man's blood. I bet you they take that trick. I bet you they use that
I
trick
hope
in
they
their
do.
yeah, right? I bet you they use that in their next vampire episode.
Which you never thought of that, guys?
Oh no, I bet you their next vampire episode's going to be Benny.
Oh yeah.
They
no.
still have to
Take
tie
that-
up. They
you
still
take that
have to.
back right
I'm
now.
so sorry, but that's a loose end. They're going to have to tie that up before the end of
True.
the season.
Yeah.
No,
We're not gonna think that way. However,
Hmm.
so yeah, they catch this vampire, and Josephine comes up in all her rage and is saying how he killed a mother 3 months ago and a brother and a sister. She came home after practice to find them all murdered and slaughtered. And this vampire looks absolutely confused and terrified. He's saying, I can't believe this happened. He was like, he says, I didn't do that. No, that wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think he even said, "Somebody please help me" at one point.
Poor babe.
And I think that's where Sam and Dean are going, what the fuck? Like, this is not vampire behavior.
Right. She was probably going to be like his first feeding. You know, they probably could have saved him.
Exactly. That's what she said in the hospital. She said in the hospital that he just kept saying, "I'm sorry," and crying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Victor like tied them up, like the setup, right? The setup is the kids come in the room and see him attacking another woman. And they feel really victorious about their vampire kill. But instead, she murdered somebody begging for their life and begging for help. Like,
Yeah.
ugh, those kids are going to need some therapy after really putting two and two together that we could have saved those other two people too.
Yeah.
Now, in the first kill, he clearly had every intention of getting Chrissy.
Yes,
He
yes,
smashed that window in, and whether that was going to be his first feeding or not, he had clearly every intention of going through with it. So we'll cut them some slack on that first one. But yeah, this Jimmy kid, I don't think
felt
he was
for
going to
him.
do it. I think they
Yeah.
tried to set him up to give him his first kill, and he wasn't going to do it. He couldn't bring himself to do it, and he got killed anyway. That
Yeah,
sucks.
she just chopped that head off. She did not fucking care that he was telling her no and looked terrified. She just chopped his head off.
Well, she's just so hung up on getting that
Yeah.
vengeance.
Well, and she was told this is the guy.
Yep.
This is
And
the
provided
one.
with fake evidence to support this is definitely the guy.
What a terrible, talk about grooming. This is such a, I don't even know how to say it. It's just so manipulative.
I like these episodes that remind us every once in a while that there's human monsters in real life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And here's my whole thing. Like we hear him explain why he scouted and targeted the kids, right? Why Jimmy? Jimmy was apparently a hero, a town hero who
Yeah.
just got back from serving in the military.
Everybody knew him, loved him.
Why did y'all target Jimmy? We never got an answer to
I
that.
guess, did he ever really say, way too much. Did he ever really say how he chose?
No, he
No,
talked. He
it-
talked about why he chose each of the kids,
Yeah, I know that.
And so now I'm picturing like, so what are you just like going through your kid's yearbook and picking out people that way? Or are you going around, you and what's his face in the creepy van and hanging out outside of high schools? Like how did you find these kids?
Well, I'm saying like
Mr. Creepo.
saying what, for example, Jimmy, why did you choose
No,
him?
that's what I'm telling you is that I don't think they ever explained that one.
Oh, okay.
And so that's my question is why did he choose him?
Because you're basically creating the monster to
Right.
have them the kids kill them.
And to pick somebody that everyone in town knew? What the hell?
Yeah.
Were you just really jealous that he got a parade?
Maybe.
What?
I don't know. It's
So
all
weird.
Very strange. Okay, so yeah, so she chops the vampire's head off. They take Sam and Dean back to where they live, which is this beautiful house.
I loved it. And obviously there's no way for us to know if the interior was actually the interior of the house. It probably wasn't. It was probably a soundstage set. But I still loved it. And
Me too.
it matched perfectly. Like I totally believed that was the interior of that house.
Yeah, it's this nice, big, almost 2, maybe 3-story looking house.
The windows.
Yeah, me and my stained glass.
Love it.
So they go in and they're talking about how Victor's the one, he took us in, taught us everything we know. And Sam and Dean are just sitting there thinking, so he just created these teenage hunters, just took them in randomly?
Right.
That doesn't sound right.
And how long has he been doing this? Because
Yeah.
Sam and Dean were like, oh yeah, like we ran into that hunter guy or Victor guy. He was a hunter. Literally have only run into him on one case. It was years ago. Never heard from him since. So I'm like, how long has he been doing this?
But these kids trusted him implicitly. Like,
Oh yeah. That's
and
what happens with predators. They groom them. He groomed them.
from the outside, when we're sitting there watching their interactions, I mean, I think Josephine comes up. It was a little soldier-esque, like in the manner that he comes downstairs, she comes to him. He's
The way they were in single file, marching in.
She comes in, they march in, then put their stuff down. Josephine was the first to come up to him, and he says something about a trigonometry test or something. Is that even the word, trigonometry?
Yeah, that's a thing.
I knew it was a thing. I didn't know if I was saying it right. Don't you have a test to study for? Get up there, just like any parent would. But each one, he kind of gives them an order and sends them upstairs to take care of whatever it is they need to do.
Yeah, I remember Chrissy telling him, I'll have a report for you on the kill tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think she was the last one. I can't remember what he told Aiden to do, but...
Fuck off.
That's not what he said.
We did not like Aiden.
But, so yeah, it looks very much like a parent, well-behaved teenagers, I shall say, situation at this house. And you would think, oh, what a wonderful man took these kids in. And he's
super disciplined and organized.
They obviously respect him so much. Dean decides that he's going to go into town and find the girl that was tied to the bed, because she's obviously been rescued at this point. And Sam, we think, just stayed the night at the house with everybody.
Yeah, like they're outside and Dean's like, you stay here and do some more investigating. And then it's like the next morning, they're all getting breakfast and Sam comes walking around the corner of the hallway. I was like, so I guess Sam just went in there and was like, hey, Victor, you got
a bed?
You got a spare bed? Can I crash on the couch? Does that fold out?
So, yeah. And again, kind of a picture-perfect morning. They all are having their breakfast. They get their book bags, and they all head off to school on time.
It seems like a really healthy household.
Right, yeah.
They just have to go murder on occasion and report back. Don't forget that
murder.
report. Other than that, picturesque.
Yes. Beautiful. And, I do need to mention, when the guys happened upon Chrissy to begin with, I don't know if I mentioned that she told them that her dad had been killed. That's why that's the whole reason she's with Victor and whatnot, that she came home one day and his throat was ripped out. Mm-hmm. So each of these kids...
So they were living... The dad... I was happy they told us that the dad did what he said he was going to do. He quit hunting and was giving his daughter a real life. And she, obviously was thriving in that life with her dad. And then just finds him with his throat ripped out one morning. And she just assumes, as would reasonably be an assumption, that some monster that had known he was a hunter at some point came back to get revenge or do whatever.
Yeah.
She didn't question it.
And Dean, of course, at the time asked her if she had any other family, and she does have an aunt somewhere that he's ready right away to take her to, but that's when she said no. She's got Victor.
Victor wouldn't like that.
Lovely Victor. Well, the girl that had been tied up in the motel room, she was rescued, and she's talking to Dean about Jimmy.
Yeah, all the stuff that we've already gone over. That's how we found that out, is from this girl.
Right. So really sad to hear.
Right. And she was very confused about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
For him to be crying.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the house with Sam, after the kids leave, I don't know what the conversation was, but Victor asks Sam if he has kids or if he wants them, and Sam says he's not sure, and Victor pulls out his wallet and shows his family and explains that his family was killed, obviously, just like everybody else is involved by vampires. Or I'm assuming vampires because that's what they seem to be going after, but...
He actually said Wendigo. Because he said Wendigo. The way he said Wendigo... I can't remember how he said it, but I remember the way he said it. I was like, Wendigo is what he said.
Oh, okay.
A Wendigo. It was just kind of odd because he's like talking to Sam about how he runs the household and everything. And that he's training this next generation of hunters and that they're going to be better than any of them ever were. And balance is important and blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, do you want to have kids? And Sam was like, I don't know yet. And then he was like, trust me, you do. And he shows the picture and then goes, they're all dead.
Yeah.
I was like, that's an odd...
Not the best sell.
Yeah. They needed to bring into the conversation that he had a family and lost them all. That was important to his motivation, right? But, the way it was presented, I was like, I don't know if that's...
how I would be swayed.
Yeah, a little jarring. But yeah, Wendigo.
Yeah, okay. So the three kids, after their little conversation, come marching back into the house. And we find out that Victor has pulled them out of school.
Right. Yeah. Sam is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Balance my ass.
Exactly. This couldn't have waited till after school. And he's got these surveillance screenshots of the woman who supposedly killed Chrissy's dad. And she's conveniently wearing a necklace that he wore that her mother gave him on their anniversary. Like you pointed out, victims' accounts, a police sketch. Well, from what we know, there was only one victim and he died, so I'm not sure how they got either of those.
Right. So who are these witnesses? Like Chrissy and her dad lived alone. Mm-hmm. And then Sam picking up the picture and being like, "Are you sure this is from a surveillance thing?"
Yeah.
I was like halfway expecting Victor to like snatch it out of his hand.
Well, yeah. But I mean, Sam was right. It was suspicious. It just too convenient. Mm-hmm. Like I was saying,
where are you getting the intel? I remember you saying that. Where did this come from?
Yeah, and that these kids just so blindly think, this guy's amazing. He's somehow tracked down all of our family's murderers, even though the police couldn't.
Right.
Dean goes to the hotel, motel, whatever, that the kids had been staying out the night before after they had done their
shenanigans
at the falls and baited the vampire and killed him. He asks who rented that room that the girl had been tied up in. Mm-hmm. And then he tells him about what was it?
Well, he said, he had a hoodie on and glasses. I can't really describe him to you, but he went over there and took one of those brochures.
Right, for
the Sleepy Lodge.
I wrote it down, but I don't see it.
Sleepy Lodge.
It's not Sleepy Lodge. But it's like Conway Lodge, something or other. And it's a beautiful area.
Gorgeous.
Huge tall trees everywhere. But it looks closed.
Yeah, he said it was closed.
Yeah. And Dean goes in and finds a woman there, and she's not doing well. Mm-mm. Immediately, I was thinking, oh, she's a new vampire. And sure enough, she was. Her stomach was hurting. Her fangs popped out, and Dean was asking her if this happened to her before, and she said no. She was scared. He tried to turn the lights on. She freaked out, told him to turn them off. And as he's trying to comfort her, these three little shits show up. I shouldn't say that.
Conveniently, they knew exactly where she was at.
I mean,
exactly where to go.
Victor's on point. He knows it all magically. Ugh. While this is happening, Sam notices that there is a van out front, the infamous blue van, and tells Victor, we need to go check this out. They go out there, the van's empty, but they both have their guns, and so they start going and searching around.
We were close. We were like, oh, it's Victor's van. It's Victor.
Yeah.
Victor is the man in the hoodie. We couldn't figure out how he was making the vampires, but we were close.
After they investigated the van, they're scoping the area around the house, and we see Hoodie Guy hiding behind a tree as they're coming up on him. And just as Sam is rounding the tree where this guy is, and you see like just his shoulder and arm, fucking Victor comes up and knocks him out with his gun from behind.
We knew something was going to happen.
Yeah.
We still thought that was Victor's van and that maybe he was going to pull his gun on Sam or something.
Yeah.
Something was going to happen.
Well, and I would like to point out that how many times Sam has been knocked out in this show.
Right.
He's going to probably end up with that, is it TBE?
I don't know.
It's whatever those poor football players get after not having so many concussions.
I feel like there was one season where it was like 3 episodes in a row or something that it was like, it's a lot.
I'm
Poor Sammy.
worried about Sam's brain at this moment.
Dean's not that much better off, but Sam gets knocked out a lot.
He really gets the worst of it. Yeah.
And he's so tall.
Yeah.
How are so many people reaching that easily?
And that hard of a strike up there.
Oh.
Way up there. Chrissy, back at the lodge, is asking why Dean's there with her dad's killer, and he's explaining to them that I don't think this is correct. She's brand new turned. Your dad died however long ago that they told us. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But not within the last week, that's for sure. So there's no way that this newly turned vampire could have killed her dad. She's like, it doesn't matter. Even if she's not the one, she's still a monster. We need to kill her. But he tells her that there is a way that they could save her. Hunting's not just always about killing, which is an important lesson for these kids to learn. It's what they have to get blood from her maker.
Right. So they have to figure out who that is. And
Yeah.
they don't know yet.
Right.
Sam is finding out at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, surprise, surprise, Sam's tied up to a chair. Back
We
at
haven't seen them
Victor's.
tied up in a while.
True.
In the first few seasons, we got to see them tied up, and we got to see Jared Padalecki doing like the fake resistance stuff a lot. Like we haven't gotten to see this stuff in a minute.
That's true, yeah.
He wasn't resisting very much, though. He was just kind of sitting there, being
He
like,
was zip tied to that chair.
"Yeah, we need to see him up against a wall,
Struggling.
I can't move."
Well, while he's zip tied to this chair, Victor does his whole villain monologue thing.
Yeah.
While tipping shit over in his living room, explaining they're going to come home and see that there was a tussle and Sam was killed because that's what's going to happen. Victor's going to take him out.
It'll give him even more motivation to be even more vengeful, and the Leviathans were a wake up call. And I was like, "Oh, Dick, I miss Dick.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't get that, but
I miss my Archangel too. Where
Well,
are they?"
well, yeah.
Well, Dick's gone. I don't think we don't get Dick back, but we get the other Dick back eventually.
Oh, yes. Well, while Victor is doing this whole speech, blue van vampires there, and the kids come in along with Dean. Dean's leading the charge now. Victor,
Victor's
step
like,
aside.
Victor's like, "Uh-oh,"
Yeah, I think wasn't it you? You
because he's holding a gun on Sam when they come walking in.
weren't you like, you guys got here came too early?
Yeah.
You came home too early.
What are you doing home so soon?
And so this puts them all in a very awkward position.
Right.
And I think it's Aiden who asks Victor if he's working with this vampire that's in the house.
Who's just standing in the corner.
Yeah.
He's got a gun on Sam, and this vampire's just standing in the corner behind him, just menacingly smiling at everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, fucked up situation.
And then Victor finally, I don't know how he could have recovered in this situation, so he just confesses to what he's been up to.
Right.
And that the vampire was sent to kill all the Hunter's family because he had been seeking them out.
That was so sad.
Which is so creepy and wrong and ugh.
And the reason it creeped me out the most is because when he was talking about them and was so proud of them, when he was talking about them to Sam, it was in this moment that I kind of realized, like, oh my God, all those reasons that he was listing off to Sam earlier, where it seemed like he was a proud dad, those were the reasons that he targeted those kids. Mm-hmm. Those were the reasons that he decided, yep, I'm going to kill that one's family.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's like a predator on multiple levels.
So many levels.
So yeah, super fucked up. I don't know where he thought that in telling them this that they might still come around to understanding.
We can still be a family, guys.
It's like, it's okay I killed your families, guys. Look at all we're going to accomplish. It's fine.
Yeah, your family's died, but think how many lives are going to be saved.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Even though I've ruined lives by having them turn into vampires. Whatever. He's just awful. Chrissy pulls out a gun on him during the midst of this. Blue Van Vampire. I don't think we ever had a name. I don't even know if he ever spoke.
I don't think so.
He grabs Aiden, which it's like flashback to Zeus and Prometheus,
Right?
You know.
But Chrissy's kill, I liked Artemis's kill and Prometheus pulling the arrow through and all that was pretty badass. But I gotta say, the dead man blood dart to the eye,
Yeah.
pop, pop.
Well, and
that was pretty fucking cool.
And I'll say, I mean, they definitely work as a team because Chrissy pulled that gun out. He pulled Aiden. Chrissy pretty much just like
Bullseye.
No. She gave a cue to Josephine because Josephine went and stabbed the Blue Van Vampire.
Oh, I missed that.
She stabbed I couldn't see who she stabbed, but she stabbed somebody in the leg. I think maybe it was Victor to catch him off guard because he had the gun too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she stabbed Victor. He dropped. Chrissy dart gun to the eyes of the Blue Van Vampire guy.
Yeah.
Took him out.
It was pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Gotta
so
say.
they are a good little team. I mean, she didn't even have to say anything. She just made a move, like a cue to Josephine, and Josephine went for it.
Yeah.
So impressive. Victor's on the floor. He's on the floor.
I liked it when Chrissy dropped the dart gun and pulled the other gun out of that holster. That was pretty fucking cool.
That was good too, yeah.
That whole sequence was visually pleasing.
Yes. And Victor gets up on his knees and she has the gun to his forehead and says, "This is for my dad." Clicks it. Nothing. "This is for Josephine's family." Clicks it. Nothing. "This is for Aiden's family." Clicks it. Nothing. And then she very dramatically pulls all the bullets out of her pocket and throws them on the ground in front of Victor. Like, fuck you. Fuck you, pal.
Yeah. It was very dramatic.
And he just...
Teenagers are good for something every once in a while.
Right, yeah. Their drama's good for something.
Love it. Love it.
And he...
To our teenage listeners, you're not allowed to be offended by that because this is technically an explicit 18-plus podcast,
True.
and you shouldn't be listening to us anyway.
And don't get me wrong, I was a fucking horrible
I was an asshole.
teenager.
I was an asshole.
When you get older, you look back and you're like,
God.
I couldn't have fucking stood myself.
Oh, my God.
Like, ugh.
Ugh.
So,
We get it.
just, it's fine.
Don't stop listening either, just because I
Yeah,
said that you're not
no.
technically supposed to. You're breaking the rules. You rebel, you. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so yeah, Victor crumples over because he's like, "Oh God, she didn't kill me," and whatever. And Dean goes over to get Sam out of his zip ties, and Victor goes for his ankle. I've never been more shocked, I think, in any of the seasons.
Yeah, this
watching
completely
something.
threw us for a loop.
I did not see this happening, but he pulls his little gun from his ankle super fast and just, trigger warning, I don't want anybody, if this is talking about suicide, so...
Sensitive topic.
Yeah. Probably went a little far. Should have said that beforehand. Anyway, takes the gun out and just shoots himself in the head.
Right in the temple.
Yeah, in the temple, and he's gone.
Then we get our 70th blood splooge of the Supernatural series. And yeah, we were flabbergasted.
That was the most
yeah. Oh my God.
moment I
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
I just did not see that at all. He didn't seem like the type. Like, he was so self-righteous and...
But like they said, he had nothing once he
Yeah.
realized he didn't have those kids anymore. So maybe this was his first group.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe this was his first group after all.
He was so adamant that this next generation of hunters
Yeah.
has to be better. They have to be better than us. There's a different way. They don't have to be in the motels and all that. But,
And maybe he just finally realized that he just ruined these people's lives in the same way that a monster had ruined his.
right. Also, Guy, by the way, you could have gone about it in the right... If you wanted the next generation to be better, there was ways to go about that without having to murder these children's families.
Like, just find young hunters that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
And train them to do it right.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So anyway, Victor's gone.
Maybe he'll be back, though, because that actor played that Striga.
You're going to have to show me that because he didn't look familiar to me.
He had black hair in that. I remember him because I didn't like his face in that episode.
Yeah, you said that.
And I thought he looked much better with the lighter colored hair.
Anyway, the next day...
It's important.
Yeah, it was. The next day, Sam and Dean are getting ready to leave and saying their goodbyes. And they did end up saving the girl, the newly turned vampire that had been at the lodge. She's there with them. They saved her. They didn't show it, but I'm assuming Blue Van Vampire made her, so they got his blood to save her. And Chrissy is sitting there saying her goodbyes to Sam and Dean. Sam hands her the necklace and says, he figured she would want that back, the necklace that her dad wore. And he says he'll give them a minute. And
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
Papa Dean tells her, okay, all right, let's go. Like, Aunt whoever and wherever, I forget. Let's go. I'm going to take you there. And she says no, that, despite everything that happened, her and Josephine and Aiden, they're her new little family. She doesn't want to leave them. As we talked about, hopefully they don't have to worry about that mortgage and legality.
We were like, hopefully that house is completely paid off and y'all can easily take over the electricity bill and everything.
Yeah, somebody I hope is working, has some money coming in. I don't know. She thinks he's going to say no, but he says, no, you're right. You're old enough to make your own decisions. You're almost an adult. And he says, all right, take care of yourself, blah, blah, blah. But before he leaves, he, calls Aiden over, and Aiden's like, I know what you're going to say. If I break her heart, you're going to kill me, all that, blah, blah, blah. And Dean says, oh, no. She will.
Yeah.
She'll kill you.
Yeah, right.
And he just leaves Aiden with that.
Aiden kind of questioning his life choices at that moment. Yeah. The other thing Dean says before he sends Chrissy on her way is that he's going to have Garth, somebody named Garth, pop in to check in on them every now and then. And I was like, what the fuck? They're in Kansas. Why can't y'all check in on Garth? And LA said, no, because they need to be at the bunker. And I was like, by themselves.
Not with Kevin.
Not with Kevin. No, Kevin.
Well, they're out hunting,
You're
Garth
Garth's responsibility.
Yeah, like.
No, Garth doesn't just have the calls. He also has to physically leave his houseboat to go check on Chrissy now.
And leave Kevin alone.
And he's got to leave Kevin alone in his loneliness, in his desert. They better move Kevin into that bunker before the end of this season, or I'm going to be livid.
I don't think they're going to.
You don't think they're going to? I don't know.
I mean, it hasn't happened this far.
I am mad about it.
Well, at the end, as the boys are leaving, Sam kind of takes note that, well, everything kind of worked out here, whatever. But Dean reminds him that if they get to close the gates of hell, they're giving these kids a chance at a normal life, that they aren't going to have to go do any hunting and all of that. This episode was written by Adam Glass and directed by John F. Showalter.
So for gore, I mean, that blood splooge wasn't particularly chunky or gory or anything. It just was shocking.
Yeah.
We got that decapitation at the very beginning. That was pretty cool.
Bloody, though.
It wasn't bloody, but it was clean and it was quick and it was really cool. Unexpected, too. So I enjoyed that. I would say the goriest thing that I can think of was when she got the darts in the eye, that vampire's eye.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It went bloody really quick. She shot his eye out. She shot his eye out. So considering a vampire episode, not particularly gory.
Yeah, surprising.
But some good action and some good special effects and some nice visual direction from John F. Showalter. Mm-hmm. Like this episode, like I said, it was visually appeasing. The sets, the way it was shot. Like I enjoyed that. What about you? Did you adore anything? Oh, we didn't even get into adore. I just went straight from gore into my adore. So what's your adore?
It was good to see Chrissy again, even though she was a teenager.
She's adorable, though.
I
still like her. She's a little asshole in this episode, but you and I already decided, but that's accurate. That's accurate, especially when they're getting trained to be these great hunters. Of course, they're going to be too big for their britches.
Yeah. And I like how sometimes Dean is just like that, in that kind of somewhat dad role with these kids in the show sometimes.
Well, wanting to protect kids from the life that he had to live growing up.
So I like that, too.
Agreed.
And he was sweet with her. I mean, stern, but sweet. What about that lore?
For lore, we're doing another flashback to season 3, episode 7, Fresh Blood, when we talked about vampire criminals in blue vans. I'm just kidding. It doesn't get that specific. It's just vampire criminals, but enjoy. Okay. This is an article from mentalfloss.com.
I love Mental Floss.
So it says, while there's no real evidence to prove the existence of vampires, murderers and other nefarious types have been blaming their evil deeds on bloodlust for more than 400 years. Here are some examples. Number 1, Countess Elizabeth Bathory.
Oh, I know about her. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I think wasn't she featured in American Horror Story?
I think so.
Or something. No, it wasn't her.
Or was it?
It was somebody. No, that was a New Orleans person. Never mind. So, an early adapter of the vampire defense was Countess Elizabeth Bathory, a member of the Hungarian royal family, whose cruelty toward her female servants was said to have included drenching them in water and leaving them to freeze to death outside in the winter. But it wasn't until 1609, following the murder of a young noblewoman, which Bathory staged to look like a suicide, that she was made accountable for her crimes. While it's difficult to separate fact from fiction, the legend surrounding her suggests that she killed more than 650 women and bathed in their blood, which she believed to have restorative powers. So maybe they did base that character off of her. Mm-hmm. Bathory and 4 of her servants were eventually charged with 80 counts of murder, though the Countess died while under house arrest before ever being brought to trial. In the book, Dracula was a woman. Historian Raymond T. McNally claims that Bathory was part of the inspiration for Bram Stoker's famous Bloodsucker.
Huh. Never heard that.
Me neither. Next up, we've got Fritz Harriman. Harmann.
Okay.
He's also known as the Vampire of Hanover.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the world's first serial killers and one of its most prolific. Between 1918 and 1924, he murdered at least 24 people, many of whom he killed by biting through their necks. Can you imagine dying that way?
Ugh. No, I don't want to think about
that
it.
That would suck. Suck.
Oh, my God.
On December 19th, 1924, he was sentenced to death by guillotine for his crimes. He was beheaded on April 15th, 1925. So that scientists could study his brain, his head was preserved in a jar. It is kept at a medical school in Germany.
Oh, oh, wow.
Yikes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we have James P. Riva, R-I-V-A.
Yeah.
He was just 23 years old when he killed his wheelchair-bound grandmother in Massachusetts in 1980, stabbing her repeatedly and shooting her 4 times through the heart with bullets he had painted gold.
That's a little overkill.
In order to cover up the crime, he then burned down her house. When questioned, he claimed that he was a 700-year-old vampire who killed his grandmother in order to drink her blood. He later changed his story, saying that he had acted in self-defense. He believed his grandmother was a vampire and that she was using an ice pick to drain his blood at night. In 1981, he was sentenced to life in prison for second-degree murder and arson.
This is second degree?
This is depressing.
Shit, there was motive. No, that should have been first degree. Stabbing and shooting her that much? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he planned
You
that.
painted bullets beforehand.
Exactly, yeah.
Come on.
That's bullshit. Whatever, at least he's in jail for life.
Yeah. Now we've got Roderick Farrell. Role-playing crossed into real life for vampire killer Roderick Farrell in 1996, when the teenage leader of a vampire clan brought a few of his followers from Murray, Kentucky to Eustis, Florida, to murder the parents of his girlfriend, Heather, so that she could be initiated into his coven. Wow. After beating Heather's father with a crowbar, Farrell and a friend used cigarettes to burn a V into his chest. Upon his arrest, Farrell told police that they would never be able to contain him because he was an all-powerful 500-year-old vampire named Visago. He wasn't.
Yeah, but
Farrell became the county's youngest prisoner on death row in 1998, though his sentence has since been commuted to life without parole.
Good.
And last, we have Josephine Smith. A shuttered Hooters restaurant may not be the first place you'd think of as a vampire lair, but it's where 22-year-old Josephine Smith attacked a 69-year-old homeless man in 2011 as he slept in St. Petersburg, Florida. Smith allegedly told the man that, "I am a vampire. I am going to eat you," before she bit off pieces of his face, lips, and arm.
Jesus.
The victim managed to escape and call the police, who found Smith covered in blood at the crime scene with no recollection of the incident.
She must have been high on
Bath
something.
salts.
Yeah.
Wasn't there somebody who was high on
Yeah.
bath salts in Florida that
Oh,
did
yeah.
that?
Yeah, it was a guy. He left his family's dinner and just rolled up on this couple in their garage and killed the guy, eating him.
Tried to eat them. Yeah.
Yeah, they came. The police came up and he was eating his face.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Fortunately, all of these people were caught.
Thank goodness. Well, to close it out, this closed out the episode. And Dean says, if we shut that hellhole once and for all, those three can have a real life.
And then after Dean gets in baby, Sam dramatically pauses outside the car and says, "Maybe they won't be the only ones." Oh. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Denim-wrapped Nightmares.
Follow us on Twitter or Instagram, leave a review, and let us know how we can get involved in the fandom.
This was fun, jerk.
It always is, bitch.